Man, what a great day of hoops. The Warriors Rockets game ended up being a little worse than I anticipated, but the Warriors won. So I don't care that it was a little bit more of a boring game than I anticipated, especially once it got towards the end. Listen, we're gonna start with Pacers Cavs though. Pacers take game one, 121 to 112, and it was a very interesting game. I've got a lot of notes from like both of these games today, but a lot more from this game. Um, to start off with, Darius Garland was hurt, so the Cavs do lose, but they're missing a starter, so that's a big thing. Sam Morrell was starting on his place in his place, and at least the beginning of the game, it was Hallie that started on Morrell, and Neesmith started on Strus, and then it was Nimhard on Donovan Mitchell. So I'm interested to see if that's going to be something that they continue to do. It also was something that like changed throughout the game depending on the lineups that were in and everything like that. So it's not like Donovan Mitchell was hunting one matchup most of the game, but earlier in the game he was doing better. He was frying. Siakam was also frying early, but it was just like Indiana's offense kind of outside of that one run that Cleveland went on where they took the lead in like I think it was like midway through the fourth quarter. Indiana's offense was pretty consistently good tonight. Like their Indiana's offense was finding a lot of success tonight, and I think that's a little concerning. This was like before the series. If y'all watched the video I published this morning, I said that a big thing this series is going to be, are the Cavs going to be able to stop the Pacers role players from playing well and force Hallie to be the main scorer, or is it going to be Hallie getting assists and a lot of the other guys playing well while he just has like pretty efficient low scoring nights? Well, tonight it was a little interesting because Andrew Nimhard had an absolutely phenomenal game, and Pascal Siakam started off having a great game. He did get a little inefficient towards the end in the second half, but he still had a pretty solid game. Aaron Nesmith, super efficient game. Miles Turner, super efficient game. And then Tyrese Halliburton still put up 9 to 15 with 13 assists and 22 points. And then off the bench, the one guy that off the Pacers bench that I didn't really think about when I was thinking about this series was Obi Toppin. Had a great game today. 7 points, 5 boards, just all around good game. TJ McConnell, 3 for 5 in his 15 minutes, 7 points. Benedict Mathurin didn't have his best game, but he shot well from the 3 of 5, and 5 boards also. So, like, he didn't have a terrible game. He was just a little inefficient, but not a bad game. Whereas on Cleveland's bench, it was Ty Jerome taking 20 shots, the second most on the Cavs today. And DeAndre Hunter was 4 for 8. He didn't get up nearly enough shots, if you ask me. Like, if you're going to have a game where Max Strus isn't shooting the ball well, Sam Morrell is not giving you much of anything at all, and Donovan Mitchell can't hit a 3 to save his life, I kind of want DeAndre Hunter to take a couple more shots, especially in those non-Donovan Mitchell minutes where it was like him, Ty Jerome, and Mobley on the floor. Now, I get Ty Jerome took a lot of those shots, so you aren't going to get both of those guys getting 20 shots. I get that. But, I don't know. A lot of the Ty Jerome stuff to me today just didn't look great. He ended up being 8 for 20 for 21 points. He was their second leading scorer behind Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was super key during the run where they took the lead that I mentioned in the fourth quarter. He was frying then. He was frying earlier in the game, but it wasn't an efficient game for him. 13 for 30 for 33 points, and then 1 for 11 for 3. Like I said, he couldn't hit a 3. So I don't know, man. Like the Pacers played really well offensively, and then they shot the ball really well, hit 19 of 36 threes. That's 53% almost, where the Cavs had their worst three-point shooting night of maybe damn near the season. So it's interesting to see because we expect that the Cavs are going to get back to what they have been this season, which is the best, if not the best, and a top 2 3-point shooting team in the league by the numbers. So it's just going to be really interesting to see if the Cavs can get back to that, or if the thing that I was always worried about the Cavs turns out to be something that we all should have been worried about, which is that 3-point shooting real or will it regress? Tonight it wasn't good, but I think it will be better. It's going to be interesting to see if Darius Garland's out. Now, according to him, he really is optimistic that he plays Tuesday, so that's going to be good for them. But I don't know. The thing with that is, like, that's just another guy they can hunt defensively a lot of times, so it's going to force kind of Donovan Mitchell to lock in and be in that chair a little more. But if he's able to outweigh that with, like, his offense and everything like that, then we'll see. But that's kind of tough because he's dealing with, like, a foot? I think it's a toe sprain. That's tough for a guard that relies a lot on his shiftiness, his quickness, so that's going to be interesting to see. Max Strus, he didn't have a good shooting game, like I mentioned. He was 2 for 8 for the 3, but he was huge on the glass, so that was something that was really big for them, especially because Jared Allen really wasn't doing much when it came to rebounding at all. Actually, Max Strus ended up being their second leading rebounder with 7 boards. That's good for him. But just the Cavs got to get they won the rebound. They tied the rebounding battle, but it's just like I kind of expect them to win it. especially with the two bigs and everything like that. But then Miles Turner gets 11, Aaron Nesmith gets 8, and then Pascal Siakam gets 8. So I don't know how you win it with that, especially when Obi Toppin and Benedict Mathurin are both getting 5 off the bench. I'm not sure how you really win the rebounding battle with that, but it was just not a great night for the Cavs. Like on either side of the ball, like their defense wasn't, top 5 defense in the league, like it can be, and especially, dude, this is one thing I noticed. Jared Allen had a good game, but like Jared Allen, dude, every time he got switched onto Hallie because of a pick and roll, Hallie was doing everything in his power to fry him, and most of the times he was frying him. Now there was a couple times where Hallie gets a pretty decent shot and he just misses it, but most of the time when you notice that matchup, it was like, oh, Halliburton's cooking. Like Halliburton's getting to the cup, he's getting the layup, or he's just hitting the 3 step back. So it was a little tough. And then something else I wanted to mention, during that run where the Cavs took the lead that I've already mentioned twice, the refs let them play very, very physical basketball, and if the series ends up being very, very physical, that's where I think the Cavs are favored because they have like the bigger bodies to deal with that physicality, and I think they're more used to that physicality, more comfortable with that physicality, where guys like especially Halliburton, Nembhard may not be, may not be as used to that, may not be as willing to take that contact. So very interesting start to the series. I think I may have not given the Pacers enough credit, even though I did say this is one that could go 7. This is one that if this was the one that I said, oh, if I see myself being wrong in any one, is going to be this one. So it was interesting. We'll see what the Pacers, what the Cavs come out and do in game 2. We'll see if Darius Garland plays, and we'll see if he does play, then how well he plays. And then on to the Warriors. Gary Payton II was out for this game, but then Draymond, man, had a great start offensively. I'm talking about he might have been 3 or 4 for 4 to start the game, including a 3 or 2. Like, he was hooping to start the game. He was playing well defensively on Şengün. He was getting some assists. He was just doing all the great Draymond Green things that you want him to do. Now, he ended up taking the 3rd most threes on the team behind, Pajemski, dude. Behind Steph Curry and Buddy Hield. He was 2 for 8, but then he went 16 points, was a plus 18 on the floor, which is the best of the game today. He had that one, what do they call it, a technical? I don't remember what they called it. They might have called it a flagrant. I don't remember, but it was the one where he smacked, I think it was Freddie right in the face. It was definitely, whatever they called it, completely agree. It was definitely something. But overall, great Draymond Green game. Jimmy Butler had an efficient game. Did a lot there in the 4th, especially like with that getting fouled. Fred VanVleet fouls him on the clear path. He makes both free throws, and he comes off and he hits the midi as well. That was big. And then I think he scored another bucket later after that. That was all big. And then Steph Curry, man, didn't have a good game at all. Like, didn't have a bad game. He was 8 for 16, 4 for 10 for 3 for 22 points. But it's like in the first half, he only has 3 points, and you're still up by, 11? Or 8, something like that. So it's like, Dubs are up 11 at half with Curry only having 3 points. It's right there in my notes. Man, he couldn't hit early in the game in the first half. He was getting the looks that he wanted. He was getting pretty good shots. Not a lot of them, but like the 4 or 5 shots he took in the first half, they were pretty good looks, and he didn't make one until 2 possessions before halftime. So it was really the fact that they were able to take the lead, to have the lead pretty much that whole time while Steph was struggling offensively, was something that made me feel really confident in the Warriors' chances to win this game. And that's mostly because Buddy freaking Hield, man. 33 points, had 22 of them in the first half. Couldn't miss. Very efficient game. 12 of 15. Took the 2nd most shots on this team. Him and Draymond tied. He made the most shots on the team. 9 for 11 for 3. 9 for 11 for 3. You can't ask for a better Buddy Hield game. And it was one of those things that was like a kind of a constant throughout this whole series. When Buddy Hield hoops, the Warriors win. So I think he is really going to be an X factor coming into this next series, especially when Jimmy and Steph are going to get the 2 best defenders, and that you're going into another series where you don't have a rebounding advantage at all. You don't have a size advantage at all. So you're going to need some Buddy Hield games. You're going to need some Brandon Pajemski games, which he gave you 1 in this series. But in this game, man, 4 for 12, 1 for 7 for 3 for 9 points. That's just not good enough. That's just not good enough. He wasn't rebounding well, and he was getting a lot of wide open threes. I'm talking about the Rockets were putting Şengün on him, and Steph Curry was finding him every time, wide open, and he just couldn't hit him. It didn't matter where on the 3-point line he was at. He just couldn't hit them hoes, man. It was tough. Moses Moody offensively didn't do a damn thing tonight. Jonathan Kuminga, in the 7 minutes he had, they were terrible. He didn't do a damn thing. Missed the open layup on like the first shot he took. It was just bad. So that was really bad. So this was really a sloppy game from the Warriors, but it was just Buddy Hield flying, going off, having the best game of his playoff career. Steph Curry having an efficient game and a very good second quarter very good second half compared to his first half. Jimmy Butler Didn't take a lot of shots, didn't need to. Super efficient game, a lot of rebounds, and another thing with rebounding. Stephen Curry led the Warriors in rebounding. He wasn't shooting well, especially in that first half at all. And even in the second half, he was shooting better, but he just wasn't getting off this normal Steph Curry volume of shots. But, dude, he was doing a lot of other things. He was getting all the rebounds. He gets that steal on Şengün late. He was playmaking to the best of his abilities, even though guys like Pods weren't hitting the shots. He still had 7 assists. If Pods hit some more of those open shots, if Moses Moody hits an open shot, Steph Curry has a triple-double in this game. One thing I thought that was interesting in this game, Quentin Post, who has been a guy getting a lot of minutes in this series, only gets 3 tonight. Very interesting. Kevon Looney gets some more minutes tonight, especially when that Steven Adams lineup was in it. He played pretty well in those minutes. So, yeah, man, sloppy game from the Warriors, but then we go on to the Rockets side, and you see why they lose the game. When Şengün struggling up from an efficiency standpoint, 9 of 23, 21 points, 14 boards, he was still... I would say he's probably their second best player today. Amen Thompson was their best player, man. 9 of 16, 24 points, 9 boards while guarding Steph Curry. And the only time where he really looked like he was out of place guarding Steph Curry was where he had that one play where he was kind of hobbling after a little calf injury where Steph hit the 3 and then they called a timeout immediately after because he was hobbling a little bit. Other than that, a phenomenal Amen Thompson game. Like, damn near the best Amen Thompson game. He was really consistent this playoffs. Like, there wasn't a lot of times in this series where you saw his youth come out. So, Amen Thompson, man, all props to him. He made life hell on Steph Curry and the Warriors. He was just getting to the cup at will pretty much every single game. His athleticism is nuts. Good series from him, man. He was consistently probably their second best player for a lot of the series, and there was games where Fred VanVleet's hooping, but in most of the games, he was their second best player behind either Freddie or Şengün. Freddie tried, he did his best. Like I said, he wasn't going to have as great of a game in this game as he had in the previous 2 because that just isn't going to happen. But 6 of 13, 3 for 6 from 3, 17.7 boards. He's doing the best he can. The guy that I really want, and Rockets bench had easily their worst night of the series tonight. Easily their worst night of the series. But the person that we want to talk about, Jalen Green. You are somebody that I said would be better than Cade Cunningham when you were coming out of the G League Ignite. I was super big on you when you were coming out of high school. You scored, I think, 60 combined points through 6 games of this series, but in game 2, you put up 40. In the one game where Jimmy Butler goes out in the first quarter with an injury, and in the one game where y'all have a pretty blowout win, you scored. It wasn't even a blowout. I think y'all won about 10. I don't even think it was that big of a blowout. Maybe it was. Am I mixing this up with the Lakers series? I don't know. Anyways, Jalen Green. You shouldn't be allowed back in the city of Houston. Whatever big player that Houston tries to make a splash for, whether it be Giannis or KD or Booker or whoever they try to make a splash for, Jalen Green is the first player I'm putting in that trade package. The first one. I don't care. You're taking him. Like, you're taking him, bro. We don't want him. Because what he just did in this playoff series, he is officially the biggest playoff dropper in the NBA at this moment. At this moment. I can't think of a bigger playoff dropper in the NBA at this moment than Jalen Green. You go the whole series averaging 20 points, and then throughout 6 games of the series, you combine for 60-ish points. Throughout 6 games of this series, you average around 10 or less points. If we don't include game 2, that's embarrassing. Dude, and it's like you weren't even putting up the shots. Like, in some of the games, you were putting up the shots, but in these last couple, you weren't even putting up the shots. 8 shots? Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Şengün, Fred VanVleet all get more shots than you. Tari Eason only gets 2 less shots than you. Jabari Smith Jr. in 12 minutes only put up 3 less shots than you did in 30. Steven Adams damn near took your place as a starter for the majority of this series because that's how ass you were. And since you don't do a damn thing on defense and you're not useful to the Rockets when you're not scoring offensively. The most useless player this series for either team was Jalen Green. You did, bro. The Rockets would have won this series if you just played like you even had 2 hands and 2 feet. If you played like you have ever touched a basketball in the last 6 months, the Rockets win this series 10 out of 10 times. If you average 15 a game throughout the 6 games where you only average 10 or less, the Rockets win this series. If you even shoot the ball, I'm okay with it because at least you were trying. 8 shots in a winner-go-home game at home in a closeout game 7. 8 shots? You make 3 of them? You were the leading scorer all series on a 2 seed, and you made 3 shots? James Harden put up more shots than you did. And James Harden passes the ball. You don't. At least not to the level of James Harden. So you should be shot chucking to the 10th degree, to the highest degree. And you just out there twiddling your thumbs, useless as ever. They damn near should have took your ass out the starting lineup for Steven Adams and just had you come off the bench and say, hey, man, if you give us something great, we're not expecting it at this point. Warriors-Wolves in the next round, man. I think that starts Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh, that's not great. Not for the Warriors. I'm going to say Wolves in 6. I just don't think the Warriors have enough offensively. I don't think they have enough size. I don't know. This is tough because the Warriors do have guys that can match up. Like Jimmy can probably play Ant decently, better than anybody on the Lakers could have, and Draymond can play Randall decently, better than anybody on the Rockets could have. So the Warriors could very well win this game. It's just that they really don't. This series showed that you don't have to guard Podziemski. You can damn near hide Rudy Gobert on him. Well, no, you're going to have Rudy Gobert on Draymond, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, you could put Mike Conley on Brandon Podziemski because Brandon Podziemski ain't going to do a damn thing if this series shows us anything. And I just don't expect for Buddy Hield to have another one of these games. Not enough for them to win the series. Now, could they? Yes, but it's just like Steph and Jimmy I trust more than Ant and Randall. Yes, I trust them more. Even though Ant's been frying, I trust them more. But then it's like Jaden McDaniels or Draymond? Dante DiVincenzo or Podziemski? Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Moses Moody? Like, I don't know. I just don't think the Warriors are going to have enough offensively. And while I do think they can throw some things at Minnesota defensively, especially if Rudy Gobert, especially if Mike Conley does get a lot of minutes this series where you can hide Steph Curry on him a little bit, I just don't know, man. Especially with the Warriors being as tired as they're going to be, all the flying from Houston to Golden State, 7-game series. The Wolves have been off for like 5 days. I don't know, man. It's just there's a lot of factors that go into this that make me think the Wolves are just the better team. And just off the eye test, the Wolves looked like the better team. So, yeah, man, I'm going to say Wolves in 6, but it's a very interesting series, and it's one that I could very well see the Warriors taking. This one and the Pacers series are the two that I think are the two biggest toss-ups to me. So, yeah, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. All glory to God as always. And, yeah, man, vacation tomorrow, so y'all probably won't be getting daily videos. But if something crazy happens, you'll probably get one. All right? Peace out.